Hey guys, so in this I'm going to kind of break down one of your big assignments for this class this semester, which will be making your own little mini book, chapbook, zine, kind of whichever direction you plan to go. Yeah, normally we would do this in InDesign, but again, since we've had a lot of issues with just getting the tech for InDesign, instead we're going to make it in Canva, which there's some bonuses to this. Canva makes some things a little easier, but there's also some setbacks to this as well. So I'm just going to kind of go over in general how to make your book in Canva here. First of all, I'm just going to kind of show you an example of what a book will look like in Canva. When you create a new book, you're going to start in the beginning here in your home page for Canva. You're going to go to create a design. You're going to do custom dimensions. You're going to change your dimensions to inches. And you're going to be thinking about this on printing paper, on standard sized printing paper, because that's what we're going to print on. So a standard size for printing paper is 8.5 by 11, right? So your pages need to be half the size of a standard print size paper. So your width is going to be 5.5 and your height is going to be 8.5, because the reason that it's like this is because when you print out your book, right, we fold it. What's the old school thing you learn in elementary school? You fold it like would it be a hamburger? Yeah, you fold it in a hamburger. So you just fold your paper in half to make your book, right? So your pages are going to be half the size of 8.5 by 11 paper. So that comes out to 5.5 inches in width by 8.5 inches in height. Once you enter that in, you hit create new design, and voila, this is the first page of your book. So to think about this a little bit differently, the first page of your book is going to be your basically your half title page, right? So I'll go ahead and kind of map this out for you. I'll upload this document so you can kind of take a look at it while you're going along if you get a little lost. So we're just going to do some standard text here. I'm not going to make it nice or anything at this point, just something to help you out. So think about your first page in this book that you're making in Canva is going to be your half title page, because it's going to be the first page that you print out. And we are going to make our book all in one document here. We'll name it up here. I'm going to name it Mock Book Design. And again, I'll attach this to your assignment so you have it to look at. It'll be a PDF you can scroll through. Okay, so again, our first page is our half title page. Now this is where it's going to get tricky. Normally in InDesign, right, if I open up an InDesign piece here, we'll kind of go to the one that we've done before, I think. Ooh, maybe we'll just do Judas Goat. But anyway, while that's loading, the tricky thing here is normally if we're doing this in InDesign, we have what's called spreads in our InDesign document. So instead of just one page like this, you could see the page right next to it. So it kind of helps you map out your design a little better. Whereas in Canva, we do not have spreads. We just have singular pages. So we got to kind of remember and think about where we are at within our book here. Let me go back to InDesign real quick, just to kind of show you the comparison here. Skip. Okay, so in an InDesign document, again, it's a little bit different where this would be my title page, and then I'd be able to see my spread where I could tell this page right here is going to show up on the left-hand side. So when I open my book, it's going to be on my left-hand side. This page is going to be on the right. When I turn the pages, this page, my copyright page is on the left. This blank page is on the right. When I turn another page, this blank page is on the left. This table of contents is on the right. So it kind of gives you the standard look of what a book looks like when you're going through it, right? But again, on Canva, you're not going to have the ease of seeing that. You're just going to see your singular pages. So you got to think about, this is your first page. When I open my book and I add a page, this is going to be the first page that comes on the left. So I'm going to leave that blank because I don't want anything on my left-hand page after I turn to that title page. So if I add another page, this is going to be on the right. So you got to kind of think about that order here. This is the front of the book. This is on the left. This is on the right. So normally I'm going to leave that left side blank. I'm going to go ahead and put a copyright page right here on my right. Because normally when you start things out in a book, you start them on the right-hand side. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I'm taking that back. Okay, left, right. Sorry, I might edit this out. Or you can just listen to me mess up. Let's start over. So, okay, so here's our half title page. We open the book. This is the left-hand page. This is another right-hand page. This is a left-hand page. This is a right-hand page, and so on and so forth. So you gotta kind of keep track of that. We'll do some test prints, so if you end up seeing that, oh, this page wasn't supposed to be on the left, or it was supposed to be on the right, or whatever, we can edit that later on. But try and keep track of it. Again, this is just the unopened book. This is the very first page, like the cover right now. When we go in, blank page. I'm going to put 2 blank pages in my book here, just to make it look nice. And so, title page, left, right, left. Your copyright page usually shows up on the left-hand side. So here I'm going to put a copyright page. Copyright page. And usually in book design, there isn't anything next to the copyright page. It's just another blank page. So I'm going to leave this right-hand side page blank again. I'm going to add another page. So we're back on the left. I'm going to keep that blank again. Now I'm back on the right. And here I'm going to put my full title page. That's kind of where we're at so far. So, unopened book, half title page is the very first page you want to put in this book design. Add a page, blank, blank, just for design purposes. Looks nice. This is also where you could put like previews of different books or something like that, but we're not going to do that right now. Now we're at the copyright page. We're back on the left. Here's the right page right next to the copyright page. We leave that blank. We go and turn the page. This is our left page again. We're going to keep that blank. On the right, we're going to include our full title page. We add another page. Again, I'm going to keep that blank because I'm back on the left. I'm going to add another page. And this is where I'm going to put a table of contents. So I would start that. Again, you always start these on the right-hand side. Basically, the only thing that ever shows up on the left, usually in design in the front matter, is going to be the copyright page. So try and keep that in mind. And your table of contents, of course, could be more than one page. For your guys' books, it's probably not going to be. It could be if you get a little longer. But especially with the zines or chapbooks, you don't want to get too long in length just because it won't print out very well if it starts to get too thick. So I wouldn't go more than 24 pages on a zine or a chapbook. Just because it gets a little too thick and you have a hard time stapling it and it doesn't look quite as good. So try and keep them small. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep you with one table of contents page for now. I'm going to add another page. And from here you could put a dedication. You could put a forward. You could put any other type of material you want to put up front. So I'm going to keep this general here. Oops, and I forgot. Again, it's kind of hard in here. So table of contents was on the right. This is my left. So actually I'm going to keep this blank. Can add another page. This is going to be on the right. So this is where I'll type it right in for you. And again, I'm going to do a PDF of this, but I'm also going to do a link, I think, to the actual design, so you can just work off of this one if that helps. Then things are kind of mapped out for you. Again, not ideal to do it this way, but it's kind of how we have to go for now. So this can be a dedication, forward, etc., whatever other types of material you need to add in here. Yeah, that can be as many pages as you want. And after you get all the front matter done, you move on to, again, we're on the left here again, so we're going to add another page to start on the right. This is where your body starts. I'll type that in for you. And again, you don't have to necessarily go right into your body text. Like, say you're doing poetry, you don't have to put your first poem right here, but you could. It's up to you. You could start with a part. Like, say you're using parts in your book. So you have a part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. So this is also where you could just put your part 1 page or something introducing your poem. Or you can just start out with the poem. Whatever you end up doing, it's up to you. I want you to have at least 10 pages of body text. And again, the body can go on the right or the left, so you don't have to think about that as much when you're within the body, unless you're starting like a new part or a new chapter. Those always start on the right-hand side. But when you're just typing in body text, it can go on either side. So I'm going to go ahead and add 10 pages here. Here's my first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the last page of my body text. And I will have some other requirements of you to put into your book here. I'm not going to show you that all right now in this book design here. But I'll go ahead and add it to this document so you can look at it later, just to kind of show you where things go. So you'll need things like acknowledgments, an author bio page at the back here. You will have some back matter. If you forget the definitions of what this stuff is, make sure to look it up. The book blueprint book that we use has all of these definitions in it and examples and things. Otherwise, the internet is your friend. Look it up. Look up colophon. Look up a glossary page, acknowledgments pages, etc. So, yeah, there will be a lot of different elements I'm looking for in this book, and I just want you to kind of make it up to fit your content. So let's go back to Canva here. Oops. So again, I'll work on this little mock book design. I'll have that available within your assignment so you can just use it to start and make that your own design. And I'm just going to show you kind of an example of the different books I've made. If you don't know, I work not only as a teacher, but I'm also a librarian. I work at the Wayne Public Library here in town. I'm adult services, so I do lots of craft tutorials for people. Before COVID times, anyhow, we used to have a craft night every month, so I would do that. But also with my crafts, I like to add in little books. This is kind of where my editing background comes in. I make these little books that kind of explain what type of craft we're doing, and just give examples and things so people can take them home and they can do these crafts later on. That's a lot of fun. So this is just an example of something I made in a professional environment to be used, and it was a little book. So for these, I just did my cover like this, like as my first page instead, because I wasn't really worried about having a cover for this because it's not a real book. So I kind of have my cover there. That would be on my left-hand side. So again, this isn't as official. This is more like in the format of a zine, I would say, where I'm not going to have necessarily a copyright page or a table of contents because it's just not needed for this. But I do have our library logo in there, so they know this came from Wayne Public Library. It's on the left-hand side, kind of like a copyright page. So on my right, I kind of have a picture here of one of the crafts we do in this book. And on the left, I'm just starting my body. Again, I don't have any type of real order, page numbers or anything like that in this one, because I don't need them. Yeah, this is kind of an example of how you could use this skill later on. Maybe you need to make a book for a project you're working on, maybe for a poetry portfolio or some type of writing or art project you have going on. This is a nice way to show off your work. Or in a professional setting, maybe you need to make a booklet for a job. There's lots of different jobs that need little info booklets like this, so if you learn to do that, it's quite the skill. I use it quite a bit at the library, so yeah, that's just a fun little book I made for a craft we did. Again, I'm going to fill out this book for you so it can kind of help you out. I am asking for page numbers. Again, this is so much easier in InDesign, but we do not have InDesign right now. Oh, send lots of emails to people. We're trying, but it's a lot of work right now. But anyhow, so normally on page numbers you don't have that in the front matter. You don't worry about it, but you do have it in your body text. So it start with your body. Again, things are kind of weird here. You got to really think about where this is actually showing up in a physical book. So this is the right hand page, right? This is where my body text starts. Where do page numbers normally show up in your book? They don't show up in the margins, right? They show up in the corners of the books. So if you're on a right-handed page, your page number, I'm going to shrink that down because obviously they wouldn't be that big. Your page number is going to go in the corner here, like right around there. I'll have to mess with that a little bit, but you won't want it right smack dab in the corner on the page there, because you got to think about when you print a book, you want to make sure it's not too close to the edge of the paper, just in case it gets cut off in the print. So you want it up a little bit. Again, it's kind of hard in Canva to get it perfect, but that's pretty good. I'll kind of order these out for you because that's pretty hard to do, I understand. So I'm just going to copy that real quick. Control C is copy on your keyboard. And so this is a left-hand page, right? So Control V is a paste. I'm going to move that, I'm going to move that over here to the left. So yeah, that's kind of how that will go. So your next one is a right-hand page, so it'll go on the right. That's how you can kind of think about it if you remember which page is which. Left-hand page, page number goes on the left. Right-hand page, page goes on the right. Again, hopefully, I'm not sure. I think it will work to just share a link so you can use this design and make it your own. If not, I will have the PDF up there so you can use it as kind of a guide. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of that. We will go over this in class as well. I just wanted you to have this resource to look at later on if you kind of forget. So yeah, this is the insides of your mock book. I'm actually going to title it that so we don't forget. This is the insides of mock book design. So it's everything. It's your front matter, it's your body of your book, and it is your back matter. Now, when it comes to your cover is going to be made into a different document. So we'll go back to our home. Sorry, my recorder keeps popping up. So we'll go back to our home in Canva, and we are going to make a different document for our cover. I know that sounds weird, but that's kind of how we have to do it. That's actually how we do it in InDesign too. Your insides of your book are a separate document from your cover. So to make our cover, we're going to do custom dimensions again. We're going to do inches, make sure it's on inches. We'll backspace these out. And so our width, since this is both your front cover and your back cover in one design, it's on one piece of printing paper, right? So your width for the paper is 11 inches, and your height is still the same. It's 8.5. So you hit Create New Design. We're going to name it right away so we don't forget what it is. This is front cover of mock book. And you just think about it how we did kind of in our practice of making a cover, except for since our zines or our chapbooks are so small, they will not have an actual spine. There just won't be a spine there. There's not any room. So you don't have to really worry about a spine on this one. Just your front cover, which will be on the right, and your back cover, which will be on the left. You will want to note where the middle is, where you're going to fold it eventually. So we'll go here to Elements. We'll pick a line. We'll rotate it so it's vertical instead of horizontal. Because again, we fold like a hamburger, not a hot dog. Well, it looks a little crooked, doesn't it? There we go. We'll drag this out. And we'll try and make sure it's centered within our document here. There it is. So that's center. So again, this is your front cover. Sorry about that, I'm cold here. Front cover is on the right. Shrink that down a little bit. And Control C, Control V. Oops, didn't work. Control C, Control C, Control V. And this is your back cover. So I will have this available for you as well to work off of. Again, we are going to cover this in class tomorrow a little bit. We're going to be doing some other stuff too, but we will cover this a little bit and you can get a start on this. This isn't going to be due for a while. I just wanted to go ahead and introduce it so you could start thinking about ideas for your book and start working on it. But yeah, again, I'll get all these resources together and placed in the assignment so you have them to watch later. Always reach out with any questions, or if you want me to just look at your book, send it my way and we will take a look at it. I'm sorry, one more thing I wanted to address before we get out of here. So when you finally get done with your book, say, I've made my, let's go back to the insides. I've got all my insides made and done and placed. I'm all good to go. I am ready to download this. How do I download it? So we're going to go to the download area. And the type of file we want to do for this is a PDF print. Very important. We want to print this as a PDF print, because that's the only way we'll be able to print it out as a book, because you kind of have to print it through Adobe Acrobat or it won't turn out right as a book. So make sure you hit PDF print. Of course, all your pages are already selected, and you just hit download. And from there, we can print it. When you open your book, you want to, again, make sure that you're opening it with actual Adobe Acrobat and not your internet browser. I don't know why it always defaults for your internet browser to open it. You want to open it with Adobe Acrobat. So right click, show in folder, right click it again, open with Adobe Acrobat Reader, whichever one, it doesn't matter which one of those. So it'll kind of show up as a PDF here in the actual PDF reader. You'll do File, Print. Again, we'll probably do this in class too, but I want you to have this reference in case you need to do it on your own. And so once we get to our printing screen, there's a couple steps we have here. Of course, you'd make sure you're on the right printer. And we are going to print this with booklet. So you'd hit booklet. There, it'll give us our preview of what our spreads are looking like. So that's great. So there's your half title page. This too is where you can kind of check out if everything ended up on the correct sides. So again, we talked about it needs to be on the right or the left. So our half title page is in the correct spot. It's on the right because this is going to get folded like a hamburger. And so this page is going to be on the front. This page is going to be on the back. When we turn the page, I had those two blank pages there. That's what shows up. We turn the page again. Oh, you know what? This is going to look a little funky because this also reorders the pages to go in the correct order when you're folding them. That's a whole nother level. Just make sure that when you're printing, you hit not size, but booklet. Yeah, you shouldn't have to mess with anything on that. Then you just hit print when you're ready. Again, we'll kind of do this together, but I want you to just know this is how it works. So, yeah, again, reach out with any questions. I'll attach this to your assignment so you have it as reference, and always reach out. Yep. All right. Awkward ending. Goodbye.